Hi there, I'm Skaji. I'm a practicing witch and a professional tarot nerd, and I'm glad you're here. I'm adding a new bit to my card of the week bit. Vocabulary words. Don't worry, there probably won't be a test later. But our vocabulary word of this week is querent. A querent is the person seeking guidance from the reading, whether it's the reader themselves or someone for whom they're reading. It's related to the English word question. I mean, it really just means one who questions. Querent. Other easier to pronounce synonyms for this word include seeker, sitter, and client. I'm sure there's some others. Some of you may have your own choice words for those who seeking readings. I like seeker the best because it feels more active and participatory. I feel like that the tarot as a divinatory art really is a cooperative endeavor. Today's card of the week is the Five of Wands and was suggested by my good friend. Thanks, Noel. In my first card of the week video, I kind of went down a rabbit hole. It was a lot longer than I intended it to be. I'll try to be more concise today. I promise I'll try. When looking at the minor arcana cards, there are several different parts of the cards, different components, different bits we have to consider. And that would be the suit, the number, and of course the imagery, and not necessarily in that order. So with our Five of Wands, wands are traditionally associated with the classical element of fire. And the way that I see this element, if I have to use just one word, would be passion. Many times when that word is used today, it's used to refer to certain physical pursuits. And that is indeed one of the associations of fire, but it's not all there is to it. To my mind, fire is also associated with the will, creativity, illumination, and power. In short, wands represent those aspects of life which fire us up. The number symbolism of the minor arcana as presented in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is from the Kabbalah as interpreted by the Order of the Golden Dawn, an esoteric and mystical order founded in 1888 in London. Since the majority of modern decks follow the outline of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this association follows through even if the deck doesn't incorporate the Kabbalah more overtly. The number 5 is associated with Gevurah, the fifth Sephiroth in the Kabbalistic tree of life. And Gevurah is associated with strength as well as with conflict and struggle. So here in the Rider-Waite-Smith card, we can really see that conflict. I joke with clients that this card is really a stick fight card. That's what it looks like to me. Bunch of guys in a stick fight. We also get that conflict here in the Robin Wood deck, but a lot of times for me this comes across as not a stick fight, but like a bunch of folks having a hard time putting together some IKEA furniture. I also like the implied pentagram formed, or incompletely formed rather, by those wands. And if you look closely, the stones tipping the wands are colored with traditional colors used for 5 elements recognized in some Wiccan and witchcraft traditions. Here in the Urban Tarot by Robin Scott, we have a Thoth-style deck. Aleister Crowley and his Thoth Tarot diverges from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck and its Golden Dawn underpinnings to a degree. However, in the Five of Wands, we see here as interpreted by Scott, we also have a theme of conflict. And that card's even entitled Strife. But it has more a sense of competition than of combat. We need to remember that none of the cards exists static. There's no just one definition or interpretation for the cards. The cards exist on a spectrum of meaning, and each can carry both positive and negative interpretations. In this card, from the Guardian of the Night Tarot by M.J. Cullinane. We have our little woodland friend struggling to keep the work going in spite of rough times. Again, there's that sense of struggle, but the struggle is not against others. Here, that struggle seems to be more against the forces of nature, forces often larger and more powerful than we are. And yet our furry little friend here just seems to be carrying on. In the upper left corner, we can see this reddish round thing. Now, this could be the sun, or it could represent Mars, which is the planetary energy associated with Gevurah and the fifth Sephiroth of the Kabbalah. When I get a new deck, I love to spend some quality time with it. I look at each card as closely as I can, and I try to take in every little detail, even if it doesn't seem to be significant. And as I've gotten older and these peepers have gotten weaker, I've resorted to using a magnifier to help me with this. But this one is neat, but I also use one on my phone. But it's great to catch some of the designer's more subtle details. Now this Five of Wands is from the Hush Tarot by Jeremy Hush. In this somewhat surreal deck, the traditional meanings aren't always evident. In this card, we have these 5 spears, which are representing the wands, and those are kind of fiery spears. And the 3 snake guys, all bendy and intertwined. The only obvious conflict here seems to be the 2 of these snake guys after this one cookie, and they don't want to share. Now, the little white book that came with this deck, though, interprets this card in a very traditional way, with conflict and struggle. Many more contemporary decks seem to leave behind the more traditional symbolism for imagery more subjective. Now, this can do a lot to open up the cards to a reader's intuition in ways unencumbered by that tradition. With the 5 of Wands, we have that interplay of fire and conflict. Sometimes in our lives, this can make an appearance as anger and disagreement, and others as the passion and drive to face the challenges and injustices life throws our way. This was fun. This card was a great suggestion. Thanks again, Noel. I hope you've enjoyed your time here today. If so, please do the like, subscribe, share thingy. Thank you. Again, I'm Skaji. Safe journeys. Be the suit of the card. The or underpinnings. So I've resorted to using a magnifier. Forgot my magnifier. Where's my bloody magnifier?